When you put in communist and yes, communist policies, that's what Zoran Mamdani is talking about.
He's not a communist.
It never
Democratic
works.
Socialist. He says he's democratic
I can't tell what the difference is.
Well, he can describe
Explain what the difference is.
He can describe the differences for you. The socialism is not the same basis of communism in this country. You know that quite
The
well.
man wants to create government-run grocery stores. He wants free transportation, both of which are impossible to do. Because how is
communism is a trigger word to try to undermine all of his policies. He's not a. He says he's.
I don't need to undermine his policies. His policies undermine himself.
Well,
because they've never worked. Here's all I want him to do. Tell me where they've ever worked. They've never worked. He knows that. I knows that. But what he's trying to do is promise everybody something that they can't have. And the truth is there is no free lunch, just like there's no free bus. Because you know what happens when you have a free bus? There's nobody there to fix it or to drive it. He knows that. I know that. You know that. America does know it. And it's unfortunate that the city of New York, my former home city, is probably going to have to go through this.
What he just now said is so important. When you have a free bus, you have to have a free driver. You have to have a free mechanic, because if you don't, you're going to have to find a way to pay them. And you're going to have more than one bus, and you're going to have more than one driver, more than one mechanic. Someone has to pay for this.
Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed. And he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
This is one of the bluest places in the country. I mean, that's a fact. Yeah. The last time there was a Republican mayor that won was Mike Bloomberg. You're going back to the early 2000s.
That's my point. That it's, I'm not saying, and normally, it, frankly, but I want to, why not for Cuomo then? I think the reality is I want to hear what you have to say, actually.
Normally a Democrat gets upper 60, 70%, and you had Mamdani nowhere near that. This is a deep blue jurisdiction. Democrats were divided on this. Republicans just aren't going to win the city. It's deeply blue. It's getting bluer. People are leaving the city. There's been a decrease 2% of millionaires in the city. There's been a decrease of 10%, those making $10 million or more. Those are the people he's going to need the money from, but wait, they're out. We already have in this city the #1 welfare and education spending of anywhere in the country. Very few results to show for it. But I like what The Economist said. They said the goal of affordability from Mamdani is worthy, but not his methods. His methods, as I just laid out, do not work. But Donald Trump's methods do work on this issue. Donald Trump gave Joe Biden, this is a fact, 1.4% inflation. You had Joe Biden that drove that up to 9.1%. Hand you 1.4, drive it up to 9.1. Donald Trump is successful 9 months in at bringing down prices. A dozen eggs, the price has dropped 79%. National average of gasoline dropped $3 per gallon in the first week of November. He beat market expectations in September with the inflation rate at 2.5%. Remember, it used to be at 9.1. Inflation-adjusted private sector wages increased by over 1,000. 30-year fixed mortgages, the nation was 6.7 at the end of October, 12% lower than when he took office. Donald Trump's policies are working. Last night, blue politicians won in blue cities. Do we need to get the messaging right heading into the midterms? Yes. But Donald Trump's methods, again, are working. Joe Biden's took us to 9.1% inflation. I've got the data, I've got the facts, and President Trump, I guarantee you, is going to share those facts.
All right, so hopefully y'all are picking up what we were putting down over here. Mamdani's way of running things will not work. They're already running the people out of the city that have the resources to provide job opportunities for the people who need them the most. And like Byron Donald said in his interview, he said, I'm not trying to say anything bad about the guy. I don't want to undermine his policies, but his policies undermine his policies. You don't want me to call him a word because that makes him look a certain type of way. I actually care about the people of New York because that's where I'm from. I'm not from there, but Byron Donalds was saying, I actually care. I don't care about what it sounds like. I care about what it actually is. And what it is the math is not mathing. Somebody who earned their money will have to pay for somebody else who did not earn their money. And then that money will run out. And then the way to fund them again will be to take more money from the people with money, because you're not creating any ways to make your own money within your socialist agenda. That's not going to make any money. And like you said before, if you know of a time where it worked, please point it out. And I don't know if y'all was paying attention the way I was, but the lady sitting across from him said nothing. She looked at him like, and then just started tapping her daggone papers on the desk. Like she wanted to say something, but she couldn't because she was trying to give him respect and wanted him to just cook. Nah, she ain't say nothing because she ain't have an answer at all. And the way that Trump has been doing things has actually been working. But depending on who you're talking to at the time, they will sell you the whole idea that this is the worst president ever. We know what's happening. We know what's going on. As long as you stay locked in and researched, then you have an understanding that you can share with other people. This socialist agenda will only continue to drive us in the wrong direction. If they brought in a socialist to govern New York City, and they're doing it everywhere else, they're doing it in New Jersey, they've done it in Cali, they're trying to do it they tried to do it with Kamala, they did it with Biden. Like, think about it, man. How can we bring more money into our country and let it circulate and let it make babies so we can be more wealthy, more healthy? Like, that's all of it coincides with one another. But they don't care about that. What they do is sell free to somebody and then hope that you bite. Check this out right here, man. People are absolutely insane. Check this out.
24 years after 9/11, New York City has elected a Muslim socialist to run it. Like, not only is New York City the largest city in the United States, but it is also the financial capital of the world. A Muslim socialist is going to be running the financial capital of the world with his horrible econ policies that have been tried in the USSR, Romania, Cuba, Venezuela, and so on. It's like people don't listen. People aren't very analytic, so they just hear something and it's like free, and they're just like, yes. And it tends to be like very popular with foreign-born people.
It's just that simple. Free. Yes. You're our guy. Yes. But people who think for themselves, nah, bro, how does this work? Okay, just show me the plan. Run through the plan again. How's this going to work? Well, what we're going to do is, said Mamdani, says Kamala, said Obama, we're going to make the rich pay their fair share. We're going to make the wealthy, Trump's friends, pay their fair share. Knowing good and well that the most wealthiest people in the country are Democrat. I believe, and I will, listen, maybe I'm wrong, but I think if we were to tell the Democrats to go over to this side and all of the people who are not, tell the millionaires to all go over to this side and tell all of the people who are not to go over to that side, then probably don't make no sense. That was just a foolish analogy. I just know that Democrats are richer than Republicans. They got money. They get money. Money. And guess what? I don't care if they're on the Democrat side or the Republican side. Ain't nobody going to let you just continue to tax them. Ain't nobody going to let you just keep your hands in their pockets for no reason. Nah, I'm not paying for everybody. I'm trying to build up wealth so that I can help others build up wealth. That's the only way millionaires can do it, is by making other people wealthy. One thing that socialists train people to think is that in order for there to be a millionaire, there has to be someone that's poor. No, we can all move in the same trajectory the same way. You can still have your buyers and your sellers, your customers and your merchants, but at the end of the day, we can still move in the same direction if you're teaching people about business properly. But if you're making them look like they're the enemy and they're the ones that's supposed to finance whatever we want to do, there's no government too big or small for any of our problems. Nah, you're telling people that they can lean on the government for whatever. Where's the money going to come from? It's going to come from people who go out of their way to handle their business properly on a day-to-day basis. They go to work. They have careers. They have to pay taxes. They have businesses. They have to pay more taxes. Like these people they're paying taxes so that the country can continue to run properly while we create opportunities for more and more and more and more people, while we have more security, while we protect our liberties and our rights. You can't do that if money is just being flown out the window and everything's free and people aren't earning it and they don't appreciate it the same way people do when they actually earn it. I'm sure I'm saying something that's resonating with somebody out there, but I know I sound like I don't make sense from time to time, so I'm going to go ahead and just have a Coke and smile and be quiet. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.